What's up everybody, Got your Sage here, and I'm back with a new video. Now, this is going to be what if Deku was a hollow part 1. I saw in the comments about pairings, and I saw a Deku and Hollybear pair. I have to say this once, I'm not very good at pairing people together. I'd rather avoid the whole thing, but I'll see what I can do with it. If you want a different pairing, you can write it in the comments. Now, let's start. I believe I left off with him advancing into an adhucha, I believe. Now, as he's advancing, there are a couple hollows or adhuchas that were watching this fight from afar, looking down at the Soul Reapers that were fighting against the Hollows and looking for the perfect opportunity to, well, ambush or attack whoever is left standing. Now, seeing as the fight has ended, these people, or a group of hollows, start to descend, walking to the fight area. Now, as they get there, they see a hollow that seemingly is starting to evolve from what would have been, I believe, a galleon to an adhucha like them. Now, as soon as he evolves, his power is even stronger than they thought. Normally, normally new adhuchas start weak, and the strong ones are mildly strong. But his strength just radiates overwhelming power. His power is closer to that of Evastelordis. That is what this figure that is slowly approaching Izuku is thinking. Now, as this figure walks over to Izuku, who is, well, trying to gather or trying to assimilate what just happened, he turns around. Izuku, I mean, he turns around and he sees this long, tall figure. But Izuku also knows that it's a hollow. Now, as soon as Izuku gets his bearings, he finds out that there are a group of hollows. Not a very big group, but, well, let's just say they're a lot stronger than most adhuchas. And Izuku has learned from this place to not trust anyone, not even your blood brother, well, if you have one. Now, Izuku asks this figure what he wants, and this figure tells Izuku that they were watching from afar, basically looking and waiting for the victor and see who is left standing. Now, Izuku is looking around and he sees that these are fairly strong adhuchas and he might have a tough time fighting against them since he just evolved into an adhucha. So yeah, he's gonna have a tough time fighting through them. Now, this figure tells him about this figure asks him about the Soul Reapers and telling him that they saw them fleeing and they would like to know where they fled to. Now, Izuku's kind of confused. He just saw a bunch of humans or human looking people walking and decided to start killing hollows. Izuku at this point doesn't know about Soul Reapers. Now, as this figure asks him about the Soul Reapers, Izuku tells him that he doesn't know about Soul Reapers. He just saw some people fighting and for he waited for the victor just like them, and seeing that the hollow and the humans fled, he just claimed what was left in the fight. Now, this figure is thinking that this hollow must be a newborn, maybe 1 or 6 months old, maybe 1.5. Now, he tells Izuku that doesn't know what he is, and Izuku just shakes his head, saying that he doesn't, but he knows he has insatiable hunger, and he has to keep eating. Now, this figure points out to Izuku that he is what they would call a hollow. Now, Izuku Izuku asks this figure what a hollow is and why do they eat so much. And this figure gives Izuku the rundown of everything from hollows to soul reapers to the evolutionary cycle of normal hollows to I think Menos Grande to Gillians to Adhuchas to Vastalordus. And this figure tells Izuku that his power is nearly at that point. And in fact, there is only one other person who's held this kind of power. And this figure asks Izuku if he would like to join them. He has overwhelming power, and well, if he would join them, that would bolster their ranks and basically ensure their survival more. And Izuku looks around, seeing the hollows, and he asks if he doesn't join, will there be any repercussions? As this figure tells him, no, there won't. And Izuku tells him that he doesn't want to join, that he still wants to find his own path. And this figure, thinking and knowing that Izuku is probably a newborn, he he allows it, since he already told Deku that there wasn't any repercussions. He allows it, and he tells Deku that if he wants to find them, he should head east to where they're going. And Deku asks for this figure's name, and he just simply, he simply gives his name as Xiaolong, as he stands up and tells the other hollows his fellow hooches that they'll be leaving. And as soon as they left, Izuku begins his journey to continue to eat, seeing as he's learned about hollows regressing. Now, Izuku has been an adventurer for a month, and he's run into a group of hollows fighting another hollow whose power is seemingly stronger than the group is fighting. Now, uh, excuse me, I had to go do something. Now, as I was saying, Deku sees this group of people fighting another hollow that's stronger than them. Now, he sees a tiger, a lion, I believe, a lion, what's it? He sees a shark, he sees a snake. Hmm, hmm, I'm forgetting one person. Hmm, well, let's not linger. He sees a lion, a snake, a shark, and one other person. Now, he sees them fighting this hollow and they're losing. The one fighting the hollow, the shark, is fighting, yes, and she seems to be strong, not on the level of the one she's fighting, but quite strong. But she's still losing. And in Wikamundo, if and when a hollow loses, the hollow that loses gets devoured. Now, Midoriya, being a kind person, decides to intervene in this fight, seeing as this hollow isn't all that stronger than him, and he determines that well, they must be at hooches if this hollow is barely stronger than him. Now, he jumps in and he jumps in with a saddle. Now, using this, he blasts this at the hollow who was going to attack Halibel, or this figure, this shark, as Izuku is thinking, and this Isero does connect, leaving the enemy hollow a bit, well, injured, seeing as the hollow was shot out of nowhere, and seeing as Izuku has learned to mask or hide his spiritual pressure, he is able to sneak up on this hollow and land his Zero on it. Now, as soon as he lands the Zero, this shark is able to land an attack that was able to damage and kill this well this enemy hollow. Damn, I can't talk. This enemy hollow. Yeah, as I was saying. La la la. Now, as soon as this hollow dies, the hollow behind the sharks are a bit on edge, seeing as another hollow came to help them, but in this, in this world they're in, there's no such thing as free help, seeing as everyone wants in on a kill. Now, as soon as they get their bearings, the shark asks Izuku what he wants and thanks him for helping them. Now, Izuku just tells him that, he was watching the fight and, well, he saw them losing, so he decided to step in. Now, this kind of puts the other hollows on edge, seen as a hollow who is seemingly strong and might be stronger than the shark they are following, helped them without this without any ulterior motives. Now, they still don't believe Deku because they still think that he's just waiting for the guard to, be down and he's going to attack. Now, hmm, now. Well, this snake tells Izuku that she doesn't believe him and is lying to them, as the shark tells her to be quiet and to stop. It's rude to fight with your savior, is what she said to her. And Deku just tells her that it's okay, and he knows why they're on edge, seeing as someone like him basically well, doesn't have any ulterior motives. And he tells them clean and clear that he doesn't want anything, he doesn't need anything. All he wants is to get rid of this hunger so he can, become what he wanted to be. As, Holly, as the shark asked him if he would like to join them. Now, Deku thinks this over, and, he's thinking over how effective it would be, seen as, seen as if he was to be cornered by a group of people, if there were friends or allies that he had with him, he might be able to get out of the situation a lot easier than he would without help. Now, Deku thinks of this and, he accepts. He joins. He joins this little team, as this little team start to go on a disturbing adventure of devouring and killing other hollows. Now, hmm, where was I going with this? Now. After a couple of months, maybe one or two, they've this team and Deku have become closer as they've started to trust Deku or trust Izuku. Now, 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 now. During this, during this team adventure, they were fighting a Hollow who was fairly strong, being able to take all three, no wait, all four of the Hollows Deku, without Deku really joining in the battle. As well, Deku's just thinking that maybe they're he knows they're not weak, but somehow he's just much more stronger for some particular reason. Now, during this fight, the four were getting the upper hand until this Hollow started to overpower them bit by bit until it charged up a saddle and was planning to hit the shark that has given our name to Naruto. Uh, what? Sorry. That has given our name to Izuku. God, why did I say Naruto? That has given our name to Izuku, and Izuku has learned her name to be Hollybell. Tear Hollybell. Now, as this saddle was about to hit her, Izuku jumped into action and was able to push her away just before the saddle hit her and causing irreparable damage. Now, now. As soon as the smoke clears, we can see Hollybell on the floor with Deku on top. Now, Deku and Hollybell don't realize their positions because the smoke, there's still smoky. As soon as the smoke clears, they can see, Hollybell can see him on top, and he can see her below him as he jumps up, apologizing, as the Hollow they were fighting was just lost for words, seen as he was, seen as they were ignoring him. And, that got him a bit mad and pissed off at this Hollow, who seemed quite strong. He's sure this boy is, or this Hollow is, a Vastalodus, and a strong one at that. And he tried to use a sneak attack until a saddle hits him out of nowhere. And you can see a nine-tailed looking Hollow that that slowly walks up as the Izuku gang or Izuku group start to go on edge, seeing as this hollow is just as strong, and if not stronger than Izuku, as as Holly-Bell's group are quite shocked, seeing as there was someone stronger than Izuku, and not just stronger like he was strong. It was about times 2 to 3 times stronger, but he also looked older. So they're just thinking it might have been because this hollow was older. Oh well, it seemed that way. Now then, as this fox like hollow walks in, Izuku asks, knowing and feeling the amount of power this hollow is radiating, simply ask this hollow what he wants. Well, not before thanking him. As they ask this hollow what he wants and what is his name, this hollow just tells them that he saw them in trouble and he jumped to action. Some somewhat like Izuku when they first when he first helped them, and well, they're just glad to see that he's someone like him. And he tells his name. He tells him that his name, well, the one he can remember, is Naruto. Oh, that came out wrong. Naruto. And he tells them that he cannot remember his first name since, well, his memories are still foggy. Now then, they, well, thank him and ask him if he would like to join them. As this fox, whose name has been decided as Naruto, tells them that he would like to go out on his own and, well, he would like to find who he is or find out about who he is since his memories are not quite there yet. Now, they, well, accept this and will see him leave. Now, a couple years passed. Well, wait. 6 months passed, and well, excuse me. As I was saying, during this 6 months, they've met a group of hollows, and Deku has seen this group before. And this person that he's seen before is Xiaolong. But there's a new face in town. Deku sees this panther slash tiger who's fairly strong and well, he they talk, this group, they meet each other and talk, and Xiaolong tells Deku that he seemed to have found, well, people who he can rely on, and these people are strong. But he's grown stronger, way stronger than he thought, and Deku notices that he's been strong. Well, he's been getting strong, but slower for him, a lot slower than he thought. But he didn't think that his strength is anything special. He just thinks that the hollows they've been meeting must have been weak. Now, as this panther walks up to Izuku, this panther just tells Izuku that he's strong, but there is also someone who was a lot stronger. It was a fox. As Deku tells this panther that they might have met this fox as well about 6 months ago. As Deku asks for this panther's name, and this panther just tells him that his name is Grimjow Jackerjack. Now they part ways, and Deku, and Deku has been Deku and his team has been, how do I say this? Has been moving, and, after a couple of years, they've met a couple of strong hollows, devoured them, of course. But, this might have been, or might be, the most trickiest situation they've ever been. Now, during those years, Hollybell has been wondering how Izuku got this strong, eyeing his strength and respecting it, seeing how this strength got them this far. Now, this situation they're in, this tricky situation they're in, they've been summoned. They've been summoned and, kind of caught in, they were summoned and they went, and now they're caught. Sorry about that. They've been summoned and they've been caught in Las Noches, or the kingdom of the king of Wiccamundo himself. Now then, now. Now then, as they meet this king, I believe his name was, I'm not going to even say it, or I'm just going to butcher it. I'll just tell you that he's at the number 2, Espada. I'm not gonna say that name. It's a tongue twister. Now then, this king tells them that they've wandered into his territory, and he doesn't like wanderers, and they better be here to either serve him or feed him, basically become his food. So as he tells them that, which will they be? As not Naruto, as what's his name? Izuku is trying to think of a way to get out of this situation. How much time I got? Oops. Sorry about that. Okay, let's do this quick. Now, as Izuku is trying to give a good answer to this person, we cut over to our schemish, deadly Aizen, who has betrayed, well, who has, betrayed the Soul Society and entered Wakamundo. Now, he's been at Wakamundo for about 6 months. No. For about a couple of, I don't want to say years, but a couple of years. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. He's been around since a couple of years, and his target, which was this Vastalordis, this king of Wakamundo, as he likes to call himself, Aizen was going to recruit this Hollow to his team until he found another strong Hollow, seemingly strong as the one he found before. He might be a little weaker, but he is strong. Now, Yi, Jin, and Tozen, I believe, are walking to Las Noches to meet this king, and they sense two ginormous spiritual pressure. One would be the king, as they are far away from they are far away from this king's palace, but are able to still see it. Well, two of them can, as now as they see this other source of power. This source of power rivals the king that they were supposed to recruit in power. It rivals it, although this hollow looked less intimidating and less experienced, more like it's younger than this king, this king of Wakamundo. He's surely more of the one with potential, as Aizen's thinking. Now, as Gin, this man who likes to smile a lot, tells this Soul Reaper, is he tells Aizen that there seems to be a bit of a problem. Although they did come here to recruit this king, there seems to be someone who's even stronger, or as strong as this king, and possibly will get stronger. As Ging tells Aizen that, would they recruit them both, or would they recruit only one? Because it seems that, well, the other is about to die. As we cut off back to Izuku. Now, as Izuku is trying to think of a way to get out of this situation. He tells this king that they would like to pass, and he's not here to serve him or, well, disrespect him by trespassing. He just didn't know that they were in his territory. As this king starts to laugh and tells him that all of Wikomundo is his territory. Now, Deku fears this king because this king is someone who Deku sees as a strong hollow in a long time. This hollow is actually a lot stronger than he thought. And seeing him, well, killing one of his men who were trying to calm him down with just something he called Respira, and seeing this hollow turn into dust, well, kind of frightened him. And he has teammates to look out for. He is trying his best to not provoke this Vastalordus. Now, as soon as this king hears this, he is kind of ticked off, seeing as, well, this young hollow has no respect in his tone, the way he speaks, as if they were on equal terms. Now, he tells Deku that the way he's speaking to him, he doesn't like it, and he shall die for not trying, well, for disrespecting him. Now, Deku just tells this, what's his name, this king, that there's no need to hide it. He can see through, well, he might not have a facial expression, but he can see through his aura that he's just bored and looking for a way to kill time. As this king starts to laugh and tells this boy that he's quite correct. He's been bored a long time ago, since he conquered anything and everything in his way. And seeing that, well, this hollow is quite strong, well, well, then he would like to rekindle his excitement and instincts as he stands up, ready to attack. Now, Deku tells the girls to stay back and that he will handle this, as they tell him no and that they're strong. They're sure that with their help they can manage to beat this king, as he just tells them that no, that his strength is on a whole other level. Now, forgive me for doing this. I'm trying to be quick with it. Now, I'm gonna do something some people might get pissed at. I'm gonna cut this fight short. So, as this king starts to use his ability, Respira, trying to, well, age Deku, hoping to age him up. Deku jumps back, pouring up his saddle as he shoots this and actually connects with uh, the king of Wakamundo. As the dust settles and we see the king barely scratched as he dusts his robes, telling this young Hollow that his attack was quite impressive, but as he brings out an axe and he just tells him that he's going to need more than that to face a king. Now, as soon as he said that, he starts to spread his Respira even more, even with more power. As he's doing this, Deku is seen to be losing the upper hand as this king's power is starting to grow, but Deku's power is starting to grow as well. Maybe not to the point of this king's power, but it is strong and it refuses to give up as it continues to grow, which does catches the eye of Aizen. Now, Gein's Gein is, how I say this, somehow taunting Aizen, telling him that he should choose now, seeing as this Hollow is going to be killed, and if they recruit both of them, there would be serious animat and what was I trying to say there? There's going to be serious hatred between these two, as Aizen just takes this to heart and is waiting to see how the fight plays out. Now, Halibert just interferes, trying to help Deku by maintaining distance and using a bunch of cells on him, on this king. Anytime Deku, well, anytime Deku is out of range of the blast radius. Now. Now, this fight has been going on for quite a while, as this king's power has seemingly stopped, but somehow this child's power, this Hollow's power, is seemingly starting to rise again, showing that it still has potential of growth. Now, Aizen tells him, and he tells him that he thinks he's made his decision and he would like him to help him with something. As King's smile widens, as the king is starting to get bored, seeing that their attack is mostly them shooting arrows at him, he trying to use his respira on them evading and trying to bypass his respira, and well, that cycle goes on. Now, now. Now. As soon as as soon as the king goes for a killing move, seeing that he's had enough of this cycle of dodge and attack, a seemingly long, long, long blade erupts out of nowhere and impales this king, shocking both Izuku and Holly Bell with her group. Seeing the blade retracts at blinding speeds, as the king is just saying no. No, he was the strongest. He is the strongest. He's the king. How could this happen to him? As the king, Frank, what? Stop that. The king starts to, well, the king starts to go haywire and starts attacking anything in sight, basically. And Deku tells the girls to back off and he'll finish this, as he runs in at blinding speeds, running in and charging up a Zero, not in his hands but in his mouth, basically hiding it up until the point where he can get close enough to unleash it, putting everything he has into that Zero. As he charges in, as what's his name? The king. I'm not gonna say his name. The king starts to use his Respira, actually touching Deku, but as soon as this happens, he just cuts off his arms, seeing as he doesn't really need them. Cuts off his arms, and I believe Hadochas have instant regeneration. Now, Deku, uh, Deku just grow back his arms, and he starts to close the gap over and over until he's at point blank range. And as soon as this happens, the king goes for a slash attack with his axe, hoping to decapitate this hollow in half. And as soon as he goes for this attack, he sees the mouth of this hollow glowing as wind starts swirling around it, until Deku opens his mouth, seeing a small saddle, smaller than normal actually. Seeing this, the king immediately recognizes how much power is being put into this saddle, and as soon as he realizes and tries to jump back, it's too late. And well, the saddle just hits. Com- what? Oh my mouth. Completely, yeah, completely taking the head of this king. Now, as this happens, Izuku is gasping for air since he was out of breath, using all, if not most, of his power that attack, and it would need time for him to gain back his power since, well, he did have high, well, how do I say this? He did have a lot of stamina and more potential to gain back his power, seeing as he was mostly never out of breath or never overusing his power, but with this hollow, he had to go over his limits, and seeing as he's never done something like this, well, he would have to get used to it. As soon as he, as soon as the king dies, his his ability starts to disappear. That would be Respira, as Deku sighs and claims the spoils of victory, as he tells the girls that it's safe and they should dig in, as Deku takes a bone, because, well, the guy was a bag of bones, so Deku just takes, well, he takes some parts of him and he devours them. As before he devours them, the bones just turn to white dusts, seemingly being energy, and Deku quickly informs them that they would need to take in this energy or it will all go to waste. As this does happen, and they all eat, well, more like absorb the energy radiating from the dead carcass, the dead backbones, and they all feel a significant power boost, but nothing too crazy. And as soon as this happens, Deku is with his unamused face, seeing that he didn't get that strong. In fact, well, he doesn't feel any stronger. And, well, he might have just hit a roadblock. As he sighs, knowing that at least the girls were able to gain more energy, more power, as soon as he was going to turn to meet the girls, well, he burst full of energy, very much similar to how he did when he was transforming into or evolving into, well, an adulterer. Damn. I was gonna do something with the amount of years they've spent, but I forgot. Damn, I can't go back. Well, it seems I'll have to rectify that. I might have to do part two, which might be a filler, but nah. Sorry, it's time to continue. Now then, as this happens, three Shinigamis start to walk towards this bountiful, powerful. Yeah, I said that both at the same time. This powerful amount of spiritual pressure, and Eyes is just. I said Eyes. Eisen is just thinking that he must be evolving, but for what he knows, I meant hollows are supposed to evolve to Vasilorduses, and that should be the end of their evolution. But it seems that this hollow was not even a Vasilordus, and well, he's thankful that he made the right decision, keeping the young and discarding the old. Now, Aizen's thinking, and he turns to Gin, who's just there smiling, as Gin tells him that, well, he's strong alright. He's a lot stronger than he thought. He might be the second strongest they've met, apart from, well, the other hollow. As Aizen's like, yes, of course. But I'm wondering, Gin, what happens if during a transformation or evolution, the Hogyoku, as it brings out a small orb, is used on them while during this transformation? As Gin is like, that is unknown. We haven't tried it, but I don't think that would be as Gin realizes what Aizen means. As Gin turns to Aizen and tells him that he doesn't think that, well, scratch that, they haven't, well, tried it on someone else other than that one hollow. As Gin realizes that what Aizen means, and tells Aizen that he doesn't mean he might not survive. The first one was, well, a test, but still, they are not the same. As Aizen tells him that he can feel similar power radiating from this hollow, though not as strong, but still, it intrigues him and he would like to see what happens. As they basically shunpoed or flash stepped over there as he was, well, as he was evolving, as the other hollows that were guarding him, Hollybell and the likes, turned to see Aizen, as Hollybell's lackeys, I believe their name were Sung Sung, La Rose, and Apache, as they try to fight against Aizen, seeing him as a threat to Izuku, and Alibert tells them that they shouldn't. She can feel power radiating from him as he asks this person who he is and what he wants. As this person simply smiles back and tells her that he is, well, his helper. As she's just thinking, helper. What does that? As he hits her, as he turns to him and tells him that is he the one with the long sword? As Aizen tells her that no, but his companion is. As Gin points himself out and tells her that that will be him. Now, as Alibel thanks them about their help, but asks them what they want, as Aizen brings out an orb and tells her that he would like to perform an experiment. As she asks what kind of experiment, as he tells her that, well, one where he would considerably give young Izuku, or this hollow, strong, very strong powers, and he might give them as well, seeing as she's fairly strong. As she she's just in shock, as well, as Aizen just turns and focuses his attention on Izuku, saying that there's no time to waste. As he, well, I don't know how he does it, but well, he starts the process of turning him into, I believe, an Orang car. As Deku was feeling power crushing him, but he was able to endure until this weird thing surrounded him, and a weird voice asking him if he would like to discard his regeneration for even more power. As Deku tells this voice that he would like to keep his regeneration, seeing that it helped him against this against the threats he once faced. Now, as soon as his transformation is complete, the immense energy dies down, and well, once everything is complete, the smoke clears and they see a figure with green jacket on and a mask on his face, similar to that of a hollow, but a human physique, with his claws a bit longer, a smaller hole in the chest, and for some reason they can't sense how strong he is. They can't sense any power from him. As the mask falls off, they see a face, green hair, green eyes, and as soon as the mask falls off, it disappears into tiny particles. as Holly Bell just yells out his name as she's like, Izuku, is that you? As Izuku opens his mouth for the first time, and with this massive amount of spiritual pressure just drops, hitting the four hollows that were there, dropping them to the ground until Izuku gets hold of his what's it of his spiritual pressure. Now, Izuku just tells them that he's fine, he is Izuku, but he feels different, stronger, as he tells you that, as he asks, is this how Vasta Lotus feel like? It feels more powerful, but different. As someone steps in, as just this said someone tells Izuku that he would be the cause of that. And Izuku just turns to see a Soul Reaper, well, three of them, as Izuku just asks, who are you? As this Soul Reaper gives his name is Sosuke Aizen, and he would like for him to join him. He's building an army of some sorts, and he would like for him to join his ranks. Well, Sosuke tells him that he would love to turn this place into a safe haven for other hollows to stay in. As Izuku asks Aizen and just tells him that what's the catch? As Aizen just looks at him and tells him that, well, there's no specific attachments to it. You just answer when I call. That is all. As Izuku thinks for a minute and tells Aizen that, what about them? As Aizen tells Izuku that they would get on their holification, on their own evolutionary cycle, but for now they should get into Las Noches. They were on the outskirts, so they should get inside. It's time for him to meet his fellow brethren, as he tells Suzuki that he's strong, yes, but there was someone stronger, very strong in fact. He might, if they both were to fight, he might give him a run for his money. But he refused to join them. As Izuku just asks who was it, as Aizen just tells him that, well, he was seemingly odd. He had 9 tails and was a fox. As Izuku's eyes just widen, and Aizen just tells him that he was also undergoing a transformation to become a Vastalordis before he intervened. So they are quite similar in that aspect. Now, before, as Aizen would say, he asked them that before they would continue, he would like for him and the rest to look at his blade as he pulls out his Zanpakuto. As Izuku looks at it and tells Aizen why does he want him to look at it. And Aizen just tells him that he's a Shinigami, a Soul Reaper, and what he did for Izuku, he basically gave a Hollow the powers of a Soul Reaper. As the Hollows are all in shock, and he just tells Deku that, well, he well, he would likely have a sword, Zanpakuto, just like him. As well, Deku's thinking, yeah, that does make sense. As he's looking around, but he can't find his sword. And while he's thinking of, well, where his sword is, Aizen just tells him that he and the fox are quite similar. Maybe they might be similar in abilities as well, and certain traits. As Deku asks what does he mean, as Aizen tells him that the fox didn't have a mask as well. He did have remnants, seen as he had, well, he had a hole, a smaller hole. He had, well, he had whiskers, smaller details from when he was a hollow, but no mask. He also didn't have a Zanpakuto, but he was able to get it by thinking of it. As Izuku just asked him how will he think of a Zanpakuto, as Aizen just tells him to focus on a name. Now, I don't know what name I should give his Zanpakuto, so maybe you guys can possibly help me with that. Now, as this happens, Deku starts to concentrate and a name just pops into his head. Now, as soon as this happens, lights start forming and Deku reaches out for his Zanpakuto, grabbing it, and he opens his eyes. Now, I don't know what weapon to give him either. Either. I'm thinking of a Nodachi or normal katana. So you can write that in the comments as well. Now then, as Aizen is intrigued by this, seeing as, well, he had no mask, the fox also didn't have a mask. They're quite similar, as he asks Deku to think of his mask, as Deku asks why. He wants to confirm something. As Izuku does do this, as he thinks of his mask, and instinctively his hand is moved towards his face. And Deku's just thinking, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? As his hands just form into a claw, swiping down at his face, and his mask just appears, and his spiritual pressure just spikes up a lot. And Deku's just shocked that he was able to call his mask back. And he quickly what? He quickly removed his mask. Still shocked that he was able to do that, as Aizen is just shocked at how similar they are. It's quite disturbing, but also intriguing, as he tells Deku that they should follow him, and well, they would stay with him for a while, as Deku tells Aizen that after a couple of while he would like to go back to his world, as Aizen asks, your world? You mean the world of the living? As Deku just answers, yes, something like that, but well, you see, where he comes from, he came from a world where things such as quirks, he believes they are called, he might have forgotten what they're called. He came from a world where quirks, different abilities, were being used, as Aizen is even more intrigued, saying that there's, well, a different world. As he does find this intriguing, but, well, he doesn't have time for this, at least not yet, as he tells Deku that they would talk more once they head inside, in, once they head to Los Noches, as Deku tells Aizen that after some time he would like to go out on his own and, well, achieve what he wanted. As Aizen asks, what does he want? He just tells Aizen that that would be a secret for himself, but for now he just wants Aizen to know that at some point he will leave. He might come back, but he still needs to leave. As Aizen agrees, and well, after we time skip after, I believe he was sick. He was 6 in the last episode. I time skip a couple of years, so now he's 8. No, that's not a couple of years. Now he's 9. Yeah. So after 5 years, 5 to 6 years with Aizen. So if that's normal thinking, that should be 14 to 15 years, right around the UA entrance exam. Now, as this amount of time passes, Deku asks Aizen, he, well, Deku asks an audience with Aizen, as he does get this, and, well, he tells Aizen that he is ready to leave, he wants to leave, he'll be back, since, well, he has some things to do here. As Aizen tells him that, well, Aizen tells Izuku that, well, he can leave, but it's a shame having the number 0 Espada leaving so soon. As Deku nods to this, but and tells him that he did tell him that he would leave sooner or later. As Aizen says, okay, you can leave, but as Aizen says this, he tells Deku that he would have to take one other espada with him. More like as someone from a different world, as he would say, to, well, basically view this world in a different aspect. as if they are bothering him, he can basically send them back. As Deku nods to this, and Aizen asks Deku if he has any person in mind, as Deku says yes actually, and he would like to pick Holly the number 4 Spada. As Aizen says, that's great, that's a great pick. I will inform her. And Naruto and Izuku, why do I keep saying Naruto? As Aizen says, when are you planning to leave? As Deku just tells him that, well, he's planning to leave tomorrow. He's been waiting for this for too long. As Aizen just nods to this and tells him to have fun, and he will inform the number 4 Spada. Now, we time skip a couple of sorry, we time skip to the next day as a portal is open. I believe it's called uh, Gargant shit, Garganta. Yeah, Garganta is opened, and two people step out. As the first person just breathes in the air and just says out loud, "It's good to be back." Now, as soon as he said this, we will shift over to the more, well, purer side as we go to the Soul Society. Now, the Soul Society and their department of, I've forgotten the department that monitors spiritual pressure in the human world, well, in different worlds. And as soon as this happens, as soon as they step out, their spiritual, as soon as the two hollows step out, the spiritual pressure is leaked before quickly covered or masked, and this little amount of time gave the, what were they called, the Soul Society enough time to read their spiritual pressure, not accurately, but about 70 to 60% of an accurate measure of the spiritual pressure, as they inform the captain, the head captain, about a spiritual pressure who might be on the level of a lieutenant and somewhere closer to that of a captain. Now, this is where I'm going to leave things at, and I do hope you like it. I haven't posted in a week, and school has been holding things up. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.